Hello and welcome back. Today I'll be ranking every location in Stalker Anomaly. These rankings are purely based on my opinion, so if you think I've ranked a place incorrectly, come tell me while I'm live on Twitch, link is in the description. Else drop a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. First location is Agroprom. This place is quite hostile, as it contains the military base. Otherwise, this place is full of mutants. The main redeeming factor is half the map being patrolled by loners or CNPP, which provides a bit of security. I'll put Agroprom into C tier. Located in the centre of the zone is the army warehouse. This is one of my favourite places to spend early to mid game, as it is a great place to farm mercenaries, freedomers and monolith. If you are friends with freedomers, then you can do the monolith defense quest to earn a lot of money and a lot of high tier loot. In addition to all that, being the centre of the zone makes it very accessible, with multiple routes to different locations. Therefore it will go into S tier. Moving all the way north is the CNPP. This place is very large, which isn't necessarily a good thing, as it basically turns CNPP into a walking simulator, with not much to do. And to make things worse, the radiation is very strong, making it even more painful to walk around. However, this location is essential for the main story, so we'll go into D tier. Completely opposite of the CNPP is Cordon. This is where most people start their stalker journey. The area is quite quiet, with mainly pack animals like dogs or boars and some bandits. There is a military base in the south which can be useful loot wise, but other than that there isn't too much. Therefore, Cordon will go right in the middle in B tier. If you were to ask me what the most useless place is, I would instantly say Darkscape. I believe this place was originally going to be used as a vehicle chase scene, but was cut. Now we are just left with a massive map with literally nothing of interest. It isn't even useful as a passage to Dark Valley, as it is quicker to just go through garbage. It is quite obvious that this place should go into F tier. Speaking of Dark Valley, this place isn't much better. It is a lot more compact, but it's still quite lacking. There are quite a lot of mutants here and the bandit base is here, but that's about it. So Dark Valley will go into D tier. If you are playing as a mercenary, then you will be typically based in Dead City, as this is where the main base is. The main issue I have with Dead City is its location. Due to being quite northern, a lot of the tasks you get from there will be unreachable early game due to not having the Psi helmet. There's also a high tier mutant that typically spawns on the path to Yantar, which has gotten me a few times. But overall it isn't too bad, so it'll go into B tier. The deserted hospital is another nearly pointless location, as it is only used at the end of the Mortal Sin quest line. There isn't much here, just a few Sin members, so it'll go into D tier. On to garbage now, and I really like this place. It has a few mutants and a lot of easy anomalous fields for hunting artifacts. One of the best features is the trader Butcher, who sells the cheapest mutant killing ammo. And on top of all that, there are two general flea market traders. This place is very good early game and will go into S tier. The generators are similar to the hospital in the fact that they're only used in the Mortal Sin questline. Instead of Sin though, there are multiple high tier mutants. Therefore this will go into D tier. Containing the Clear Sky base is the Great Swamps, and I dislike it. There are a lot of mutants which love to hide in the tall grass. There aren't many points of interest, and the ones which do exist are quite spread out. If you have ever played Clear Sky, you will know the pain of having your main base in the far corner of the map. Great Swamps isn't completely terrible though, so we'll go into D tier. On a typical playthrough, I like to set up my mid to late game base in Jupiter, and for a good reason. The Loner and Freedom base is dead center, making it very accessible, and close to it is the Ecologist base. Jupiter contains a lot of easy anomalies to go hunting in with little threat, making it a great place to stay. Jupiter will have to go into S tier. Next is Limansk, and for a mercenary run is the best way to get to northern areas. It isn't the worst place, as it is quite nice to farm monolith or Sin, but the radiation is quite strong there, so Limansk will go into C tier. The Meadow doesn't have much to it, it is practically empty. The only reason why I won't put this into F tier is it is very small, so I'll go into D tier. If I need to find expert tools, I'll typically go to Outskirts. It may not have the highest chance, but is relatively safe. Although saying that, the main reason why I can't put this place into S tier is the high number of high tier mutants, especially controllers that I have run into, so we'll go into A tier. There isn't too much to say about Pripyat. There aren't many mutants but a lot of monolith. Good for farming gear but not much else, so we'll go into B tier. Home of the Brain Scorcher is the radar, and it is a pain to navigate. It contains a mini red forest with high tier mutants, lots of radiation and monolith. And the monolith is the only reason why it isn't F tier, as you can get some decent loot from them. So we'll go into D tier. The Red Forest is quite a safe place, if you are insane. There are tons of high tier mutants hiding in the trees, anomalies everywhere to run into, and Sin members lurking around every corner. I avoid this place at all costs and will put it into F tier. Typically in the early game, I like to set up a base in Rostok due to its central location. As it is the duty base, there are tons of stalkers to get quests from. Overall, this place is amazing to start in and will go into S tier. Truck Cemetery is kind of like a tuned down red forest. There aren't as many trees to block sights, but still plenty of mutants. The anomalies also aren't that bad, but won't save the location from being D tier. Neighbouring Rostok is wild territory. There aren't many mutants here, but quite a few mercenaries, making it quite easy to farm them for NATO equipment. Other than that, there isn't much else here, so I'll go into B tier. There isn't too much to say about Yantar. Half the map is taken up by the Miracle Machine. The only main point of interest is the Ecologist base, which is the only one you can get to early game, so we'll go into C tier. Jupiter's counterpart is Zaton, and it is slightly worse. The anomalies are good for hunting artifacts, but are more spread out than Jupiter. It can also be good for hunting ISG at either the second boat or the camp near the Iron Forest anomaly, but these spawns aren't guaranteed, so we'll go into A tier. Onto underground areas, and first is the Agroprom Underground. This place isn't the best, containing bandits and either a bureau or poltergeist, which can be painful to deal with as there's a lot of physics objects, so we'll go into C tier. Located in the Dark Valley is Lab X18, and this is probably the worst one. There are multiple poltergeists and physics objects making it extremely painful to navigate. This lab will go into F tier. The Miracle Machine is in Lab X16, and I hate snorks. That is all, F tier lab. Moving to the Brain Scorcher's Lab X19, there are a few bloodsuckers on the way in and a lot of monolith on the way out. It isn't too bad if you go slow, and you can come out with lots of loot, so I'll put it into C tier. Jupiter Underground is quite pointless really. It just contains a few snorks and some monolith for some loot, so I'll also go into C tier. In Outskirts is Lab X8. This lab is quite pointless as there's no threat when you try to get the story quest documents. There is a bureau, but you'll never actually see it. It is the easiest lab by far and will go into B tier. The last location is the Sarcophagus under the CNPP. This place is basically just one long path full of monolith. There aren't any mutants here, but enough monolith to be a real pain, especially when grenades are involved, so this place will go into C tier. So that was my ranking of all the locations in Stalker Anomaly. What do you think? Again, if you disagree with one of my choices, come join me while I'm live on Twitch, link is in the description, or leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for future content. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.